Hello, I'm Thomas Adams. Deontology is the logic of duty, looking at what it is that we ought to be doing. And it's epitomized by the philosophical thought of Immanuel Kant. Kant lived at a time in which he wanted to rise above the circumstances of confusion, to give people a clear sense of what they should do, to give them the lenses necessary. He is known for his categorical imperative. And that categorical imperative has two dimensions. First, would your actions work as universal rules? And second, to never treat another person as a means, but as an end in itself. Now, for the first aspect, here I am in a concentrated space. And that is really to elicit an aspect that he wanted us to concentrate on core concepts, and to do so using valid deductive reasoning. Think of a topographical map in which, looking at the expanse, looking at the whole map, you have areas of concentration. And those concentrated areas are actually high points. It's these high points that Kant wants us to focus on. These are the things we should always keep in mind before doing any action. Now, secondly, in terms of the dignity of people, that they are never to be used, but to be valued. We are never to use them as a means only, but as an end in themselves. Thinking again of the topographical map, if we were to look at it from a different vantage point, those high points, the mountain as we would see up close, has a majesty all its own. It looks one way on the topographical map, but in our perceived reality, it might have an altitude of ethical existence that allows us to see its beauty, its majesty, its dignity. We've looked at allegories. And allegories are used throughout philosophy to try to help us make sense of things. An allegory that Kant utilizes is one that has both connection, and here we can see I'm actually connected to my dog here, because Kant wanted his ethics to have a practical connection to the world around us. And he used the imagery of glasses, lenses, and how no two lenses have the same calibration. We see the world differently based upon the lenses that we have. And Kant wanted us to focus on our lenses, the ethical lenses that we ourselves have. I remember growing up, not having a prescription, not having to wear glasses, putting on the glasses of my father, and seeing how chaotic the world looked, utilizing his prescription. But for him, if he didn't have the glasses on, that's how the world would look. We have to focus on how we see things to make sense of that reality, and in doing so, the lenses that we have allow us to see the duties that we are to pursue, as well as the value we are to give to things. Of the utmost, the value we are to give to our fellow man. So in conclusion, in this both concentrated space where I am standing, as well as in the practical connection that I have here to my pet, we can see a connection to Kant. Kant wanted us first to try to find universal, high-point categories of what we ought to do in a particular situation. And not only that, our particular actions being justified in a wider expanse of universal validity. And secondly, to see our connection to others not only in instrumental terms, but instrumentally to see that our connection to others have value, and that we are not only to do the particular in the universal, but to see the particular people we come in contact with as having a universal dignity. And taken together, those two dimensions of the categorical imperative might allow us to emerge from rather chaotic, if not concentrated, circumstances to eventually lead ourselves on the way to ethical endeavor. Thank you.